The time has come. Billy Joe Saunders blackout. I'm going to explain why in this video that I plan on blacking out Billy Joe Saunders. They said he's going to fight Canelo, and I don't care. I don't need to watch that. I'm not supporting. Listen, let me start. Let's just get into the video. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Also subscribe to the channel for the latest and greatest. Now, this moment, my hand has been forced. I've been pushed into action. I'm going to try my best to explain what's going on and explain the decision why my channel will not be watching Canelo versus Billy Joe Saunders, because Billy Joe Saunders continues to show his hand. And you'll see a lot of people on Twitter talking about this. I got to give my 2 cents. So, without further ado, let's get started. BBC, pause, came out with the documentary on MTK. MTK has a company, MTK Global, and one of the founders is a nefarious Daniel Kinahan who works with Billy Joe Saunders, Tyson Fury. In that particular documentary, there was a famed person, Barry McGuigan, who actually spoke out. And you'll see, like right here on the screen, Barry McGuigan believes that Daniel Kinahan is dangerous and he has brought intimidation to boxing, right? So he said this in the documentary. As a result, there's a plethora of MTK fighters who have actually spoke out because McGuigan spoke out against Daniel Kinahan. So you see it says MTK fighters call out Barry McGuigan after BBC documentary. So the fighters are mad. Look, Billy Joe Saunders is one of them. It says, also Barry McGuigan, give yourself a good look in the mirror, Robin Hood. He also went on to say that Barry McGuigan is a rat and some other things, which we will see. Oh, actually, I had it all queued up. There it is. You see people commenting. Billy Joe Saunders, an absolute reptile of a human, Hope Alvarez. I'm not going to repeat that, but you see what it says on the screen. So this came out. Billy Joe Saunders, in his anger because Barry McGuigan spoke out against his boss, who is, accused of running basically a crime syndicate and money laundering and things like that, drugs, executions. There was a shooting at a fight, things like that. Billy Joe Saunders didn't take well to Barry McGuigan in this expose panorama, the BBC documentary, which you can find on the internet. And you see Gavin Casey, he posted this. He's a sports writer. He says, a reminder that Billy Joe Saunders, his ghoulish mask, is an even more horrible human being. So this is what Billy Joe Saunders, you guys see right there, he posted on his Instagram story. It says, anyone know where I can get a cage for Barry, referring to Barry McGuigan. Just look at him. He is a bit scruffy and slimy. So he's calling him a rat for speaking on this documentary. So the irony of this is the whole situation is you have Barry McGuigan, who believes that Kinahan is dangerous. That's what he said. And Daniel Kinahan brings intimidation effect. So you know what the word intimidation means. So the irony in the whole situation is the documentary comes out and you have a professional fighter who doesn't like what was said and he's calling him a rat. That could be a form of intimidation. You're basically kind of threatening him or saying he's a rat and, putting this out because you don't like what he had to say. But it got taken a step further in this whole saga because after he called Barry McGuigan a rat, he put the hashtag, and just so you guys can see, Billy Joe Saunders, it says, that's his page, the hashtag post your daughter challenge, right? So he took this hashtag, and what people familiar with the situation have put together what they believe he was inferring. It says, Billy Joe Saunders again, any flower shops for Valentine's so I can send my daughter thank you, DM me. So he's trying to cover it and look like he's shopping for his daughter. So that's why he posted it. But in all actuality, what people believe is the real case is Barry McGuigan, who he just called a rat, had a daughter, Danica McGuigan, who was an Irish actress, and she died. Boom. You guys see that right there in Dublin, Ireland. So she had a cancer-related sickness. So you see Barry McGuigan, his daughter passed away a couple years ago. So this is all public knowledge, especially if you're from that region of the world. You probably would have known that because Barry McGuigan is a celebrity. You know, he's a high-profile person out there. So people have put two and two together that this was a subliminal. You post this rat. You've been posting, you know, rapidly about Barry McGuigan and this documentary and saying it's a shame and things like that. And you're calling him a rat. And then after you're saying the post your daughter challenge, I need to buy some flowers. And just so happens he has a daughter that has died in the last several years based on a cancer-related illness. Listen, I am not supporting Billy Joe Saunders. I don't care if he's fighting Canelo next. Count me out. My channel, just so you guys know, we are doing a hashtag Billy Joe Saunders blackout or hashtag blackout Billy Joe Saunders. I am not covering that fight. This is deplorable. This is despicable. This is inhumane. And just so you guys know, Billy Joe Saunders is now trying to act like this is not what he was referring to, because he posted this. He said, oh, it's the post your daughter challenge. I was saying this about my daughter. But Billy Joe Saunders has far too many of these coincidences, right? Look, and people saying, holy ish, that's about as low as you could possibly get. See, he's trying to cover it up and saying now it's about his daughter because fans start saying, hey, you're despicable, bro. You didn't have to do that. You didn't have to say that. And then he started posting videos or screenshots saying he's talking to a florist for his real daughter, and that's why he did it. But he did that after the outcry. Now, let's take you down a trip down memory lane. The other thing is Billy Joe Saunders has continually failed in this department, and you'll see some of the clips. Billy Joe Saunders, boxer found guilty of misconduct and fined for a domestic abuse video that he put, right? He even got the donkey of the day, April 1st, 2020, ahead of what he was supposed to fight Canelo back then before the pandemic. It says world champion boxer Billy Joe Saunders suspended because of that domestic violence video, right? His license is suspended. Billy Joe Saunders suspended. A revolting social media joke cost Billy Joe Saunders, right? So he posted a video, got the donkey of the day, and he basically says, if you're tired of your old girl, then here's how you slap her up or punch her in the face. So he was basically advocating in this video for men, if you're cooped up with the pandemic, you know, in close quarters with your girl, you should hit them if they get on your nerves, right? So that's already one recent strike. That was just last year, right? Billy Joe Saunders also failed a drug test ahead of his fight with Demetrius Andrade. Billy Joe Saunders tests positive for a banned substance. So that's another indication. Billy Joe Saunders failed a drug test and he ducked Demetrius Andrade and has never fought him. Why should he even be given the honor of fighting a Canelo when he never rescheduled to fight with Andrade and he failed a drug test, as you can see from these articles, right? Saunders was due to make a mandatory defense against Andrade, but he failed the VADA test, tested positive for the powerful banned stimulant oxofillarine, right? So he lost his belt and somehow served a little suspension or fine or whatever, came back, and he got a title opportunity again. Billy Joe Saunders also had a coronavirus prank, and I've talked about all this on my channel. Billy Joe Saunders advises, he apologizes for advice that he was given on abusing women, but he also had a prank when the coronavirus first broke out. he got his buddies kicked off of a Delta airline because he said one of them had the virus, the Rona 19, right? Listen, again, I do not reward bad behavior. If you have bad kids, I'm not going to reward it. I'm not going to celebrate that. And they talking about a showdown with Canelo. So good luck. DAZN, if DAZN is okay with Canelo has failed a drug test, Avni Yildirim has failed a drug test, Billy Joe Saunders has failed a drug test, and then now Billy Joe Saunders, on top of that, because they failed a drug test, they quote unquote paid their debt to society, whatever. On top of that, you got Billy Joe Saunders, who keeps getting crossed up in situations like, hey, here's a post your daughter challenge, when the man the post right before you were talking about the man being a rat, and you say post your daughter challenge, what a coincidence, and he has a daughter that died. You know what I'm saying? That's just foul. I can't get behind that, and I'm not going to use my channel for evil or to support that. If you look at the history of Billy Joe Saunders, he has far too many of these coincidences. There's also an incident where he made a man strip naked and he impersonated a police officer. I don't know how it works in the UK, but in America, that is illegal. You know, impersonate police officer, right? Billy Joe Saunders pulls over someone and pretends to be, look, you guys can find all of this. Billy Joe Saunders pretends to be a cop before making, and this is just really suspect anyway, right? Billy Joe Saunders pretends to be a cop before making a man strip in a more damning video. So once again, there's the video on here. All of what I'm saying is true. How many coincidences and apologies does Billy Joe Saunders get? Here's another one. Misconduct. The Guardian, UK website. Billy Joe Saunders charged with misconduct for sickening video, right? And in this video, it says the video appears to show the boxer offering a woman drugs for an X act. You know, I don't want to say the word, but you guys see it on the screen. And then he told her to punch somebody, and then she did it. And look, Billy Joe Saunders again apologizing. Apologize to everyone who's took offense in the wrong. Can't do anything but say sorry. Banter when went wrong. Apologies once again. This was in 2018. So once again, how many times does Billy Joe Saunders get these reprieves and get out of jail free cards, right? You did the domestic violence video. You got your buddies kicked off a Delta flight, said they had Rona when the Rona first hit. You offered some lady who's like a drug addict in the streets money in exchange for drugs, and then told her to punch some random guy that was walking by, and she did it, right? You got misconduct. You failed a drug test, and then you ducked Demetrius Andrade and never fought him, right? You did a domestic violence video, and now you say post your daughter challenge right after you talk and call Barry McGuigan a rat because he spoke out on MTK. You know, this is just a bad look. And another bad look is you have American journalists who are vouching for it. People like Mike Coppinger of The Athletic. It says the stories were like 10 hours apart. So once again, when you have the complexion for the protection, like Billy Joe Saunders, you can have all the benefits of the doubt, despite your track record, despite everything else. We're supposed to just believe that you weren't referencing his dead daughter, right? And again, you have American media vouching for a UK fighter, right? And saying the stories were 10 hours apart to make it look like, you know, all this stuff he's saying was unrelated to Barry McGuigan's daughter. But shout out to Javen Bay, because here's the kicker. And you know, I got to save the best for last in my videos. The initial person who posted this, or one of them, he posted a screenshot and it said 22 hours ago. You guys see that? And then the daughter, post your daughter day, which is not even an active challenge. And you don't even see a bunch of men. I haven't seen a bunch of men doing a post your daughter challenge. So a lot of people are naturally going to infer this is what you were referring to. So again, the initial post says 22 hours and then it says 10 hours later. So what I believe happened was whoever took this screenshot took it 22 hours, you know, ago, And then they took this post your daughter thing at a separate time, which is why it shows separate times, because Javen Bay on Twitter says, actually, no, they weren't even an hour apart. He posted the other stuff 10 hours later to cover his tracks. Nice try, though. And you will see people, like I told you, digital mob. Everything goes through us, the internet. People don't forget. So this is an actual screen recording of Billy Joe Saunders' Instagram feed. And you'll see it wasn't. The Barry McGuigan rat post, you see it right there. It says 23 hours ago. And then right after, it says any flower shops for Valentine's Day. So I could say, and then why don't you just use Google? And this is after you spent all day, because that documentary came out. You spent all day talking about Barry McGuigan and MTK and Daniel Kinahan's good guys. Man, the blackout is among us. I'm not, listen, don't come to my channel. If Canelo fights Billy Joe Saunders in May, don't come to my channel for that, because it's not going to be shown. I'm not doing no Boxingego watch party. I don't support bad behavior. DAZN, good luck. You know, good luck, because this is the person you got to deal with. He's this close to a Canelo bag, and yet again, he does more damaging things, and now they're trying to cover it up. We've heard it before. This happened before the last Canelo fight. He posted a domestic violence video, and people obviously weren't sad. You know, they're not going to be happy with that. So I don't need to watch Billy Joe Saunders. He doesn't even have a fighting style like a David Benavidez or, you know, whoever else that I even need to be watching. On top of that, his actions are despicable, and he doesn't, there's no place for that. How many times do you apologize? How many times do you get your license pulled for misconduct? How many times are we going to just accept this? You know? So that's my stance on it. Blackout Billy Joe Saunders. We working. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more sports. Get unlimited access to premium content with an ESPN Plus subscription. ESPN Plus offers a variety of content, including specials, behind the scenes, docuseries like Bruce Lee's Be Water, and much more. With an ESPN Plus subscription, you get access to a ton of classic archive fights and replays from boxing and the UFC. Big names like, "Hi, I'm Mike Tyson. Come and watch my fight." Floyd Mayweather, "Easy work. I'm rich." And Manny Pacquiao, "Yes, it's up to my promoter." Just to name a few. If that's not enough, you could get the ESPN bundle, which includes ESPN Plus, Hulu, and Disney Plus. All three apps, one low price. You don't want to miss out. Make sure you guys click that link in the description box of all of my videos. Ego, signing off. So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button, and you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxingego, the future of boxing.